Okay, we are starting the session. Uh, a very warm welcome to all the young professionals who have recently joined the HPNLE family, and with me, uh, with SSC team is there. Rajesh Raina sir, Chetan Singh Gill sir, Mohan Singh, Kapil Ajmani, and who will teach you about how to use the SSC platform for your studies and the research purpose. Uh,
Thank you, Arunji. Chetan, just want to update you that remote access, I think Kapil is already talking to the university, but they have yet to decide on that. So we'll not be talking about a Myloft, I suppose, as of now.
We'll,
So
yeah, we will
we are
at least.
using, sir, we are
you,
using the remote access platform.
okay.
Yes,
Arunji, which one is this? Which remote access are you using?
remote access Blan Infotech.
Okay.
I will show the students a little bit of.
Yeah, I think we can start. We can start from there. So you can
Right.
probably show us that how do they have to log in to all these screens.
Dear students, you can go to the university website and then go to library resources, and there are two tabs. One is the print resources and the second one is the digital resources. And here is the link of digital library. You will land to the remote access page. The login ID and password is provided to each and every user of the university, the new students. Here we can log in. This is the admin panel, and this is the homepage of the student portal. And when we will here we are seeing the ebooks, e-journals, digital libraries, e-databases.
So,
Here we have
screen is not
SSC
visible.
Online, Manupatra, LexisNexis, HIAN, PPW, and we will go to SSC Online. First, it will show like this, and then we will click on the login page, login button, and IP login. Here we will enter our IP. This is the homepage of any user when he logs in his or her account.
Perfect, Arunji. I think this is the perfect place that you got us to.
Yes.
I think we'll just add one more element to it. Mr. Raina, do you want to share my screen or do you want to go through your screen?
Okay, I will
You can,
give you the rights. Okay.
Yeah, so.
yeah.
I will stop sharing. I am giving you the right.
So, okay, so I'll just share my screen now quickly.
You can share.
Yes, sir. I believe my screen is now visible.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfectly visible.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chetan Singh, and like Arun sir said, we have our team members, Mr. Rajesh Raina, Mr. Mohit Singh, and Kapil Ajmani. So together, we'll be this session forward. Like Arun sir had explained it very easily that you have to go to that particular portal to access these digital platforms. One thing that you might face a challenge with that when you click on login, when you do all that when you follow all those steps and you come on this particular page and you click on login, and in the IP login, like Arun sir said, that you have to put in your email address, it might be a possibility, that when you write something like this, when you write your email address and you say login, it's a login ID not registered. If this kind of a message comes on your screen, so do not really panic or do not really think that you're not registered. Also, you have to reach out to someone. Not really. You can just simply go over here. It says register here, and then you can just put in the login ID that you were trying to put in the previous screen. Put in your full name and click on register and login. and this will be a one-time registration. So next time you don't have to worry about, that it says the login ID is not registered. So it's a one-time registration. In case you find that issue, then you can do it yourself. You can register yourself. Now, before I hand over the baton to Mr. Raina, I'll cover half bit of it, and I'll just try to pass the baton as soon as possible to Mr. Raina. Considering we have a very, very short time, so I'll keep it very concise this time, and probably we can come back for an advanced session. Now, first thing first, you need to understand about the legal research software is that all this information that you're going to be accessing through on this portal or any other portal which is similar to SCC Online, most of this information is free of cost available on the websites, official websites like Supreme Court of India, High Courts, and other websites, PRS India. These documents are already available. The question comes in, why do we, when I say we, I'm considering myself a part of you. Why do we say that you should be using legal research softwares like SCC, over the free websites? So there are a couple of reasons. First of all, it gives you more value add rather than just giving you raw judgment. It gives you more information, which is thrown at you. Let me quickly show you the Supreme Court of India website. I'm not really sure how many of you have gone to the Supreme Court website. It's a very, very good website. Considering that recently, I think 2 years back, they have revamped the entire website, and it's pretty easy if you want to find a judgment on it. So I go to Supreme Court of India website, and there's a judgment tab. And let's say I take a judgment date of 2017 or 2018. let me see. I think 2018. So let's take our 24th of August 2018. And this is one of the examples that we were talking to someone, and once I show you the case, you'll understand what case I'm talking about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick comparison between the free portals like Supreme Court of India website and SCC Online. I think it's 2017. Just a minute. Nine, 59. Yes. So I'm looking at this case, case Puttuswamy case, the case on privacy. I'm sure a lot of you already have heard about this case, have heard about it in the news, or about what the case is all about, because it's a landmark judgment that was delivered in this by this quorum. Now, if you see this, is my screen still being visible, or is it being?
No, sharing is stopped.
Start it again.
Okay, there's something happened, I think. It just not, yeah. Okay, I'm sure now you can see my screen.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you see this judgment, it says it's a reportable judgment. We'll talk about this reportable, non-reportable. Just to give you a good quick heads up. Reportable means that judgment which, as per the quorum or as per the judges, they say that this is a very important judgment and we want you to report this judgment. And non-reportable can be an interim order, a simple order, wherein judges say that it's okay, it's not that of importance that the public needs to look at it. Because in print medium, the space is a constraint. So judges, try to help the publishers, especially the SCR, ILR and all, which are in-house publishers, to help them differentiate that which one is important to our judgment, which needs to be printed, and which one can be ignored for a moment. Then moving ahead, it says Supreme Court of India, original jurisdiction, writ petition number, party name, this. Now, if you see, it says party name versus this party name, and then you have with other cases. So these are attached cases, which means that cases which were on a similar nature were combined together rather than having individual cases being dealt in the court. All the cases which would have a similar outcome or had the similar facts in place were combined. And then it says judgment delivered by Justice Chandrachud, and it starts from here. Okay, and this judgment is going into 547 pages. Now let me quickly get the same thing opened on SCC Online portal. So I go over here, I quickly do a login, IP login, and I'm already registered over here. So let's do this. And now, if I have to look at it, if you see what do I have? I have my party name. I have a decision date as well. So I can choose any of it. So let's say I have a party name. I'm going to go with the party name. So I'll go with the find by party name option. So there are a lot of options. We'll talk about this in a moment. And it's a Supreme Court judgment. So select court, Supreme Court, case, Puttaswamy. So I'll just say Puttaswamy case and start search. Now Puttaswamy has a lot of cases. Now I need to figure out which one is it. Is it 2019 one? No, not this one. So I'll just, it's a 2018 one. So 2017 maybe, yeah. So let's do this and click on this. Now, when you do this, you will be expecting the same judgment what is there on the Supreme Court of India website. Yes, you will get the same judgment. That's not a problem because see, if you see over here in Supreme Court of India, now over here, it says the party name and all the cases which were attached together, they're also available over here. But at the top of it, it mentions a lot of judges' name over here. It says 9, that means there are 9 judges in the quorum. And out of 9, if you see, there are only handful of judges whose names are in bold and in blue color. That means out of the entire quorum strength, only 6 judges had authored the judgment, had given their opinion, and the remaining judges, including the Chief Justice of India, did not give their opinion, did not give his opinion. And then you go further down, it says index to head note. Now, what is index to head note? Head note is a summary of the cases. So in the entire case, let's say if the case is talking about kidnapping or abduction, as we call it, then he will not be charged, only and only for kidnapping. It would be trespassing, it would be planning and executing a criminal activity, it would be, let's say, kidnapping, and then mental cruelty. It can be calling for ransom. It can be, God forbid, let's say murder as well. Now, when a case is being decided, all these factors will come in place. So there are 6 points of law which were discussed in this kidnapping case. But when we look at it from the distance, we give it a label that, oh, this is a kidnapping case. But when you actually deep dive into it, that's when you realize that what the case is about. So there are 6 points of law which were discussed in this case. Now, one way to understand the entire judgment is to read the full judgment. The other way is to, that someone can read the judgment for you so that you can go and you can read only the synopsis, only the law points which are discussed in this case, in which are kept separately in a particular window. Now, let me show it over you what I'm trying to say. It says judgment is 1. Digest notes are 57. That means there are 57 points of law which were discussed in this one case. Now, in case this is the first time you're going through this case, and which will happen a lot of time for a lot of cases that you've never read before. Now, the judgment of 500, 600 pages. Now, if you see, it says J9. J means a full judgment, but what does this mean? D. D means a digest note. It's one of the law points which were discussed in this case. Now, if you see, the first point of law talks about Constitution of India, Part 3 and Preamble, right to life and personal liberty. The second one talks about relationship between the civil and political rights, and then other things are following over here. Now, the good part is, if I click on any of this law point, it's not going to give me the full judgment. It's going to give me only the text, only the point, and that too in a summarized manner that was discussed on this point of law. Right to life and personal liberty. If you scroll down further, you'll get an idea what is being talked about, a summarized version of it. Then also, there was 9 judges, out of which 6 judges had authored judgment. Now, it's not a mandate that all the 6 would have spoken on this point of law. And even if they would have, you would have to read the full judgment to understand everyone's view. Is it a dissenting opinion or is it a concurring opinion? But then, if you come in the head note, what you see over here, it says, Mr. Chandrachud's opinion is given over here, and he has spoken on behalf of the Chief, Justice Agarwal, and Justice Nazir. And what was the opinion on this point of law is given over here. You keep scrolling down further. It also tells you that this entire thing was discussed in para 118, 102, and 320. You scroll further down. This paragraph is a summarization of para 132 and 136. You keep going further. And then he says, Justice Nariman also spoke on this point of law, and he was concurring with Justice Chandrachud. You keep going down, and that's the end of one point of law. And in the entire course of your research that you'll be doing either in the college for the moot court or in the profession, you would not be reading the full judgment to understand the entire judgment. There'll be a certain point of law that you will be trying to cite or use it in your case for your benefit. So you need to first read only that point of law. And that point of law makes sense. If that the thing which has been discussed is in your favor, then you might want to go to the judgment. And then even then, in the judgment, not getting lost in the judgment, you'll be going to a certain paragraphs wherein this particular thing has been discussed. And this is we have done for the entire judgment. So you see this all head notes are coming, separate head notes are coming over here. And it's not a mandate that all the head notes would be long. It depends on the judgment and the decision that how long is the decision on that particular point of law. There will be points of law which will be smaller. I think I don't see any small head note on this, but like this one is still a fairly small head note. So that's what the head note means. Now, what we are talking about in the judgment. So before you get to see the judgment, which is like this, it says the judgment of the court, the judgment has been divided by intersection to facilitate analysis. Before you start with the judgment, we give the head notes. These head notes are kept separately as well, and they're also kept just before the judgment starts. So you don't have to really always go by party name. You can open the judgment, and before the judgment, you will see this. You'll see these head notes. So anything that you see in bold are the head notes. So either you read through this digest notes or you read the head notes, which is kept on the top of the judgment. Either ways, you'll be looking at the same information. For this case, we have done, I think, something special. The special treatment which was given to this case in our in-house office. That is that we had made an index. We had grouped the head notes as well. So the first group talked about key ruling of the court recognizing the right to privacy as a basic core fundamental right. The second one talking about the individual as core of constitutional focus. And the third one talking about the restriction that may be placed on right to privacy tests and principles for. And then you have other things. Now, if you see the first one, head note, the first group is this one, the key ruling, right? You have one head note, you have a second head note. And then you scroll down further. It says the second group of the head notes are starting from here, which are talking about nature and facets of the right to privacy. And then you keep scrolling down. There are a couple of head notes over here. And then you see the third grouping comes in. So this way you can see the head note as well. You can understand the entire judgment and you're good to go. The bare judgment, what you're looking at over here, is going to come way later. Let me just quickly show it to you. So we're looking for Justice Chandrachud opinion. So I can just click on his name and you can see this cursor, this scroll bar on the right side. It's almost on the half page. That means anything which is mentioned before this is work done by the editorial department of SCC. Not only this, there's something more important which I would like to show it to you and which I'm sure a lot of you would appreciate. First thing is there is a list of cases that are cited in one judgment. Those are all available in one place. And not only that, it's also the pages number written over here. So if I want to see that let's say this one, Execution Victim Families Association versus Union of India, if this case was cited in this case, but in what paragraph, in what context. So I can simply click on this page number and jump over there and give me the paragraph in which this case was being mentioned. But apart from this, I'll show you something really interesting. And we're not doing this for all the judgments. It's very handful judgment that we're doing it. And that is this blue color box that you see, and it talks about summary of arguments. So whatever that was argued in the court by different counsels, that has been documented over here for your reference. So that rather than just reading the final product of the judgment, you can also read and understand what was argued in the court. So yeah, but please don't expect this in all the judgment. We are doing it in a very handful judgment, which are really, really of high importance. So we are doing it in those judgments. So summary of arguments is also there. And after summary of arguments and everything is done, that's when you will see the full judgment. So all that work, all this work that you saw, it's not done by one person. It's done by a big team of 150 editorial members who do this like day in, day out, and they've been doing this work. Some people have been working with us for past 20 years. And now if you see, this judgment has been divided into sections to facilitate analysis. That's the exact term line overwritten over here. So this is the word to word picked up over here. Just one more addition over here. Over here we said that Justice Chandrachud is giving the judgment on behalf of so many judges. And then other judges are also given the judgment, but they are all concurring with Justice Chandrachud. So before you even start the judgment, you have got the entire synopsis of the case. These things are not available on Supreme Court website. These things are not available on other platforms. Head notes makes your life much, much easier because time is what you charge for. You know, gone are those days when people used to say that, oh, you know, if my case is in the court for 10 years, and I have to pay for every hearing, you know, X amount, and it'll be taking you a lot of money. Nowadays, people want that if an advocate can get the case sorted in 2 or 3 hearings, and he charges, you know, let's say a few lakh rupees, they are good to give it to you. Times have changed. People say that anyone who can get my case finalized faster, he's a more efficient advocate, and that's why I think that's what you also need. We all talk about, you know, speedy trials. And just should be delivered on time. So I think this is the time that we have to, you know, start working accordingly on that. So that's that being said. Now let's go back to SCC online page. So this is the main difference. I don't have much time. I would have loved to share more things on it. So once we're logged in, we will be getting this particular screen that is called as dashboard. Now, what all we are accessing in this database, I'm going to quickly show it to you what all is accessible in this database, and then we can move forward with this. First thing first, there are different ways of searching over here. One is a research, other one is my library. Third one, we will not be able to cover this time, so I will leave it for the next session. Research and library. Research, like you saw right now, find by party name. I put in the party name, I could retrieve the results. And this is the same methodology that we apply in all the blue tiles. You have to give something to get something. Yeah. And then my library works in a different way. It works like your typical library, but the only difference is it's a virtual one. So like in the library, you go to a certain section because you know that particular information that you're looking for. Let's suppose you're looking for Bear Acts. You go to a particular section that Bear Acts are kept, where Bear Acts are kept. You're not going to go in the other section. So similarly over here, you go to a particular section and then you can see where all the information is being kept. Okay, so we'll come to this later. Let's start with the word search. Now, word search works like your Google search. It's exactly the same, with only, I think, just tiny things that you have to keep in mind when you're doing a search on legal research software. If you're doing a search on Google, you have to mention everything. You have to mention that from which area you need the information, what you need the information, from which year you need the information. You need to be specific about the domain that from where you need the information. If you want to see that, I want to take admission in India's best law school, which you are already in, you will not search for best law school, or you'll not search for best university. You have to mention best law university in India, in South India, in North India. You have to mention all those things. So you have to mention India, you have to mention law college, you have to mention it's a college, not a school, and it's a university, whatever those kind of things that you have to be really specific, because then the Google will go into that particular segment, pick it up the information and give it to you. Same thing we've been conditioned in such a way that we do all the searches in a similar manner. So when we're doing a legal research, we do the same thing over in Google as well, in the same thing, same methodology we apply over there. That means that if you're looking for a judgment of, let's say, Supreme Court on latest judgment on on let's say murder, or let's say arbitration. Okay, you want the latest judgment on arbitration from Supreme Court of India. So you'll write this same thing. I'm going to write the same thing what you usually write on Google: latest judgment on arbitration from Supreme Court of India. You have to mention Supreme Court of India because otherwise there can be some other other country Supreme Court, and you start search with it. Now the thing what's going to happen is it's going to search in the entire database. When you say entire database, that means the Supreme Court of Judgment would be searched, all the high courts would be searched, tribunals would be searched, international courts like International Court of Justice, International Court of Arbitration, Human Rights Commission, all these international court research, foreign courts, that means UK, US, South Africa, West Africa, other courts would be also be searched, and it'll give you the search from the entire database together. Apart from this, you'll also get to see the bare acts on these words. If there's any act which is talking about which has all these words, it'll be searched, made a part of it. Any article, any law commission report, any treaty, all that will be searched over here, and you can see it on the first column. It says judgment, acts, bills, rules, notification, articles, dialogue law lectures, reports of commission, Constitutional Assembly debate, which is constitution documents, all are searched together. I would just request you to just have a look at this. It says it got only 1,400 results. I think this judgment might be a pretty long judgment. Let me take another example because this judgment might be a pretty long one. It's taking some time for me. Now, let's do this. Let me try doing a latest case on murder. It might be not a long judgment over there. So I'm going to pick my search right from here and just replace this word, murder. So it's just a conceptual search and then start search. Hopefully this should not give me a very heavy judgment. If it does, then yeah, there we go. So now if you see, it says 707 results, and the judgment, if I click on the plus sign of the judgment, it says Supreme Court, we got 100 results. So we asked for Supreme Court judgment, we asked for a latest judgment on murder. But if you see now, it has searched from Supreme Court every single word. And am I getting only Supreme Court? No, we're getting Himachal High Court, we're getting probably other high courts as well, talking about the word murder. And it is a latest judgment? Not really. Himachal Pradesh is saying July month, it's saying November month, but of 1976. So it's not really getting me the exact information what I'm looking for. Now just do me a favor, just keep a note of this number, 707 results, and Supreme Court has 100 judgments. Okay, we're going to go back, clicking on this icon, go back to word search, and then move and do the same search, but this time I'm not going to do anything of Supreme Court, High Court, latest, anything of that sort. We'll not do that. Why? Because this is not Google, this is a legal research software, and we already know that we're looking for judgment and some legal information, so we don't have to really specify. Because we don't have to specify, because there's another reason for it, we have done the bifurcation over here. So 707 has been increased to 98,000 results. Because I've removed the extra words. And now if I click on this this icon over here, judgments, and it says Supreme Court. Now if you see this, if I take my cursor, let me zoom in a bit. If I take a cursor in front of any of this entry, it says only. I click on only. So now only Supreme Court results would be there. Not the 98,000 results, only 5,300. And I want the latest one. Is this the latest? Not really. So I'm going to go and say latest first. One click over here. I have a latest judgment from 2nd of December from Supreme Court of India, followed by the second latest, that is 25th of November, and the third latest is the 19th of November. I get all the judgments right over here with just one click. The reason why we are telling you, or why am I telling you that you need to have, put less words? Because for a simple fact, if you write extra words, let me give you an example. Let's suppose you're looking for a judgment of dowry death, wherein bride burning took place, okay? And there were multiple dying declarations which were recorded. Now I said multiple, so let me write multiple over here. The difference between Google and legal research software is that when you write 4 or 5 words in Google, it will make a best combination possible. It will also sometimes exclude the word that you're asking for. But in our search, when you're doing legal research, with one word being exempted from the search or gets, doesn't make it to the search, it makes a totally different meaning of the judgment. Let's suppose if you're looking for judgments of, let's take the previous example of murder, and you're looking for cases of murder of a wife. So if you give the results of murder, but wife has not been discussed, it doesn't make sense for your search. So what I'm trying to say is that anything that you put over here, the software takes it as that you want these words for sure in one document. So if you write, I've written 3 words over here, 3 phrases. So it means that I want all 3 phrases in one document. In case the two words comes in and the third word doesn't come in that search, in that particular document, it will not give me the search. That particular document will not make it to the result screen. And now if you see, I have written dowry death, bride burning, multiple dying declaration in double quotes. Why am I doing that? Because dowry death is a phrase. Dowry individually has its own meaning, death has its own meaning. Same is good for bride burning and multiple dying declaration. So if I don't put double quotes and put just like this, it'll search for dowry separately, death separately, and together as well, but it'll give me some extra results. And this is the thing that you can also use in Google. By putting double quotes, it makes it as a one word. Now, if I do a start search, you will have a very surprising result on your screen. I wish this were, the result that I'm going to show you is a true story of India, but unfortunately it's not. It just says one judgment. So where did we go wrong? Where did we go wrong in terms of which word has resulted into just one result, rather than giving me at least 5,000-6,000 results? I have no idea. So that's the reason why we say that you should only write, don't write extra words, just write the main words. But in this scenario, all these are main words. So how do I know where I went wrong? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this thing. Okay, let me edit and just do a one word search first. Dowry death. Okay. Once I do dowry death search, and I move to this result, so I got 4,760. That means dowry death results. There are some results of that. Now there's another search within search results. I'll go over here and I paste my other search, but let me just go with one by one. So let's go with this one, bride burning. If we get some results with this, that means bride burning is also good. So 598 is still a good number. That means, that brings me to the third word. That means multiple dying declaration has some problem. Now the problem in this is, multiple dying declaration is not a legal phrase. Dying declaration is a legal phrase. So a lot of times judges would say there were multiple dying declaration, which makes sense. I should get it over here. But more than that, they say there were more than one dying declaration or dying declarations for multiple. So multiple dying declaration is not come as a one word all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the word multiple from it. I'm just going to write dying declaration and start search. So compared to one result, I got 212 results. And if you see, it talks about dowry death, bride burning, and dying declaration all in one place. I can do another sub search. I can just write more than one, because more than one is what is used most of the time rather than multiple dying declaration as a word. I can write multiple as well, but just try more than one. And do a further sub search, and there we have it. If you see, if there are more than one dying declaration, they should be consistent, and other things are also mentioned over here. And the good part of this search is it's a very controlled search. In case once you've reached this particular level of that you've got sub searches done, and let's say that you don't want a bride burning results from this. I think I just want dowry death, dying declaration, and more than one declaration. That's good enough. I don't want bride burning results. What will happen is if I remove this and this number should increase. How would I remove it? I'll click on this cross sign. It will remove the bride burning results. The filter of bride burning result would be removed, and this will add up the numbers over here. There we have it. So you can do this. You can go back and forth a lot of time, and that's what we wanted to show this feature in specific. Okay. So one word search, just put a word. If it's a phrase like public interest litigation, so put double inverted commas. Okay. Mr. Raina, over to you. I would think we can take these things. Browse, I think we can just take one. If the time allows, we'll do it later. But I think we can just take care of these things for now. So over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chetan.
I'll keep sharing my screen.
Yeah, that will be fine.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just quickly mute myself. Yeah, please continue.
Yeah, so right from this search, what we saw, just the single word search and the phrase, as well as the search within search that we have seen already. So going forward with the same search pattern that we have over here, we also have some advanced search features which we'll be talking about. And in this, what we have is a descriptive kind of a search when we have, as was earlier told by Mr. Chetan, that we should, narrow it down. So same way, if we have a very descriptive kind of a query, that can be, mentioned within this search area with the help of those Boolean operators, which are just mentioned below the enter search term space.
I think I'm sorry. I think Boolean we can cover later. We can because we can cover the other features like citation and everything, and then we can probably come back if the time allows. Because
sure. So we quickly go to the dashboard. We'll quickly go to the dashboard and see the other option that we have over here. That is finding case law by section. In the finding case law by section, you will be, entering the act, which starts with the, say, if you're looking for contract act or penal code, all these acts have this Indian word common. So we have skipped that. So you can simply select, say, contract act, that's right. And then click on find in title. You'll get this list of sections over here. So within this, contract act, let's say take one section over here, say like section I think section 21 maybe, and then click on go button. So what we'll see is the judgments on section 21 contract act will be displayed on screen. So you will see the digest notes, the judgments and acts and statutes, all these are bifurcated over here and they are pertaining to section 21 of the Contract Act. So quickly we move on to the next option in the research section. That is finding case law by finding by citation. Here we have citations in the form of equivalent citations also from various other journals we have kept over here. Apart from Supreme Court, you have AIR, you have CIC and ILR series. All these are listed over here. And let's suppose we select AIR. If I have a citation by AIR, so what I can do is I can simply type over here or select AIR among them, AIRSC, and then let's say year 2010. And followed by that, you'll have to enter the page number. The page number 1. Let's take page number 1. And then we'll click on get citation. We'll be able to view this judgment now. Now, if you notice, if you go to the apart from the judgment, there is a digest note. If you click on the digest note, second number, you will be able to see. If you go to the footnote or the bottom of this judgment, here you'll see the citation and the party name, that is Wahid Khan versus State of MP, and it's showing me the SCC citation, and then followed by that there are equivalent citations of various other journals like SCC Criminal Law Journal, ECR and AIC and AIR 2010 SC1. That's how we reached over here. So that is searching by citation. We'll now move on to the next option, which is finding by party name. We already saw one earlier. So similarly, there are two sections over here. One is searching by the party name, and the other one is the one which is made famous by the media. So over here, The one made famous by media, maybe say Bombay Blast case, or maybe Sabrimala, Triple Talaq, Ayodhya case and all. So all these are there.
These are basically the names given by the media, so which is not the party names, but these are the names given by the media. So it can be it can be any case. You might have not heard about this case. That I'm sure a lot of you would have not heard about the Red Fort attack case. So if you're looking for these titles like the Jessica Hattelal case, Nirbhaya case, Nithari Kand, then the Ayushi Talwar case. Now these are all titles, right? This is not a party name. So that's what we're talking about. So
Right. So we can just enter that name, famous case name over here. I mean, not the media name. Say, for example, here we take one among those, say, Babri Masjid case, so, or LGBT rights. So the software will decode. It will decode and give you the actual party name then from there onwards. Now the more traditional one is where you have either the appellant or the respondent name. So you can just simply select the jurisdiction first. So let's take Supreme Court, and post selection we'll enter the party name over here. So let's talk about one judgment of say A.K. Gopalan versus let's just enter the first name and then click on find case. And it's showing me 3 citations over here. So I can also type the other party name over here. The third one, 1951. Yes, we will just open this. We'll double click and it will show me the results, the full text of the judgment as well as the digest notes. Now, as you see, there are a total 232 results, out of which one judgment is there and 231 are the digest notes, the various different law points over here. Now, as we see in the center of the result list, there are those labels which denote J for judgment, full text, and 6 is the quorum strength. Then also you will notice at result in the result list the number 5 number 5 has a red circle, in that. So what does that denote? That denotes that this particular law point has been repealed or overruled. Not the entire judgment. The judgment stands, all the law points stand good, except a few, which are marked over here. Number 1. And now, suppose I want to know all of those law points which are, overruled. How to? One way is to scroll through the entire list, which will be time consuming. The other one is we'll just simply, search within search results. We'll just type overruled over there in the search within search results and then start the search. So this way I'll quickly get all the overruled law points at one place in the result list. So you can see total 7 in number. All of them are listed now here in the result list. And once you view one of them, you'll see it's talking about Article 21 meaning and scope law. And as per Chief Justice Kania, what was his observation on that law point, and the other judges, each and every one judges decision or the viewpoint has been mentioned over here. And you can also see where it has been overruled. It has been held and overruled in Maneka Gandhi case 1978, followed by A.R. Coelho versus State of TN, and so on and so forth. So you come to know about that also with this in the footnote. Now from here, what we can do is, if you see there are certain icons in the third column, and within that we can see saving, mailing, and printing. We'll talk about that. But then there is one second icon by the name case reference. So when I click on the case reference, what will happen is that this 1950 judgment, wherever it has been referred to, it will give me a list of all those digest notes and judgments over here. You can see 367 in total, digest notes are 97, and there are 221 judgments. So if you go to the any of the if you select the digest notes, and you'll see that this particular citation has been referred or mentioned over here. Similarly, if I go to the other law point in from some other judgment like 1955 judgment, this is there also, it has been mentioned. And at if you further see another digest note, you will also find that it's also showing the treatment, whether it has been distinguished, relied upon, and referred to, followed, like in this case it has been followed. So you get all those treatments are also mentioned over here in these digest notes. So that's the
This basically means that because if you're citing this particular case of A.K. Gopalan, and this case is relevant to you, if you do a case reference, you'll get to see all the other similar cases where this case was being cited or referred. That means you'll start with one judgment, but you'll end up, if you click on the case reference, you'll end up with 200 similar judgments wherein SP Gupta, wherein this case was being cited. So you start with one, and you now have at least 100 plus more judgments on the same point of law.
Right. So we could move on to the next option in the dashboard.
We have to do a copy paste and true print over here.
Yes. Yeah. So for true print, what we'll do is we'll go for some another citation. Yeah. So true print, basically, what does that mean? That means those journals which with which we have tied up, or our own journal SCC, it is an exact photocopy or image of the same while you're printing. So when you go to the print, you will see these two type of prints it's showing. One is TP, that is true print. The other one is non-true print. Now, when I click on true print, what will happen?
I don't know how many. Can the students unmute themselves and answer this question? If is it possible, Arun sir? Is it possible students can talk on this session? I want to check that how many of them have seen the law reports. We're considering that it's a virtual admission that has been done, and I'm sure a lot of them would have not seen the university. So I think it's I'm assuming that a lot of them would have not even seen the law report. So I'll just take a moment to explain more on this. So what happens, guys, that one is a bare judgment. That is this one, okay? And similar kind of judgment you'll see on India Qanun, and other free portals which are available, and some other portals which are only internet, which only provide internet copy of the judgment. Now, due to some reasons in the past, Supreme Court and High Courts do not accept online printouts. So if you're taking an online printout, they would not really accept it. So you have two options. You can go to the court and take a certified copy by stamping of the court, or you can go to your library and do a photocopy of your law reports. So all the judgments get published in the book that's called Law Report. It can be SCC, it can be AIR, it can be Scale, it can be other journals as well, ILR as well. Now, because you can't be going to the library all the time to do a photocopy, so what we have done is, for judgments which are published in, like Mr. Rana said, in SCC or in our partner publication, we give you these two options in print. One is a TP, a true print, another non-true print. Non-true print means that how you see the judgment right now on the screen, you will get this format over here, which is not acceptable again, right? But if you go for TP, that is true print, it'll ask you how many pages of judgment do you need. Now, we said the judgment is pretty long, so there it is. So let's take 4 pages and click on print. When you do that, it will just get me a print of the judgment as it was printed in the books. And there we have it. My name is written over here on the top, followed by the remote access that I'm using right now, and date and all. That's one page. And second page, and I've taken for 3-4 pages, so 4 pages are available over here. This is the exact photocopy or replica of the law reports as this was printed in the books. So that's what we were talking about, that why true printout is important. If you take this true printout in the court, the judges will look at this stamping of SCC online and they would know it's a genuine document.
Yeah, thank you, Chetan. So that was true print versus non-true print. Then we also have some icons like, viewability purpose. The font size can be increased, decreased. You can also share the document. There's a icon for sharing that. And of course, we can also do the copy paste feature over here. Now we'll go to the judgment portion first, where from the judgment is held portion. And we'll see that there are paras mentioned over here, and just before the para numbers there are notepads, and when I double click on any of the notepad, it will open a new window, and this para will get extracted and I can mail it across to or maybe copy the entire stuff, or maybe a couple of lines and then paste it in my editor or whatever I want to do. So that is one way to copy paste. The other one is when I have multiple paragraphs to copy. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll instead of double click, I'll just single click. It will show a green tick on that notepad, and I keep on doing this. I can do it 10 paras at one go, and post that I'll click on one icon by the name Smart Copy. So once I click on that, it will copy the entire paras right from the source. That is, this extract is taken from so and so party name, then page number, the citation, equivalent citation for each and every para. And from here, I can simply again mail and copy it into my draft or editor.
There will be few judgments which will not have these paragraphs, like these icons. So in those judgments, you can simply highlight, do a Control-C, Control-V from here itself. But in this, whenever you have these icons, you will not be able to highlight any of this. That's why we have made these things available to you.
Right. So we move ahead. There is another feature that we want to show you, that is the case compilation. So we'll quickly go to particular.
You cover the words and phrases once.
Okay, the words and phrases are like the legal thesaurus. It's like a legal dictionary, and you need to type in the legal word or phrase over here. So for example, if I talk about, say, res judicata, I can just simply type it over here at the legal phrase, and once I click on show, it will give me the definition. It will show me the definition of the res judicata, not only in Indian judgment one. It will have 2-3 occurrences. One, it's showing here in 2013 9 SCC, right? And similarly, if we scroll further, it will show me the other one, which I mentioned over there. And similarly, you will find a third definition variation. And finally, you will also see the Wharton Dictionary definition also incorporated in this words and phrases option.
So you'll get the both. You get the taste of both the worlds. So if any judgment, any of the judgment, the lordship has defined a particular word, that will be given over here. Like in this scenario, in the first, second definition, and even the third definition is from the Queen's Bench of UK. But the only difference in the Queen's Bench of UK thing, the lordship did mention this, define this particular word, but he had taken this particular definition from the Watt Dictionary. That's a Wharton Dictionary of Law. So what we do is we give you the definition wherever it's available from judgments, and also from the Wharton Dictionary of Law.
Right. So when we quickly move on to the dashboard, there is also a similar way. The way we have the word search, we have this find by topic, by which you can simply, you need not key in anything. You can simply select from the topic itself, which are now listed over here. Say for example, administrative law or arbitration, or maybe let's talk about administrative law. So you will have the subcategories, how in the in the law itself, how it has been categorized, like in administrative law, you have the administrative action, you have the delegation of legislative function power and judicial review and natural justice. So if we select one,
For a
say,
student, I think for the first year student, this will be too much because they would not have the idea of the entire topic hierarchy. So I think we can just show them the compilation feature. That would be, I think, really, really important.
Right. So we
And then
quickly
we
move
can,
on to the
yeah, maybe probably I think we can open up a question answer round by showing one more feature, and then you can open up the question answer round.
Yeah, so we'll quickly go show the case compilation part. So we'll take another search, any one word search. We'll talk about, say, let's talk about reservation. Single word search we'll type, and then we'll get the results. And suppose we want to create one case compilation, say for example in your moot court competition, or in future whenever in your career you want to prepare this case compilation. So you see the all results over here. So I'll select, say for example, the judgments. In the judgments I'll go to the Supreme Court, and of course we have those listed already over here. Fine. So on the right hand side I'll see the judgment text over here. The first icon in the text third column, I'll click on, it says add to my SCC online folder. So this way it will prompt me to enter the folder name. So it'll create by default it shows my folder. I'll click on new folder and give it a name, let's say HPNLU, and then we'll say press enter and then click on select folder. So it will show me that yes, you're adding this judgment document into this folder HPNLU. You press OK, and the moment you press OK, it shows you that document has been successfully added. Similarly, I can go to the, let's say number 3 or number 4 judgment, number 3 judgment, or the next judgment, and then same way I'll click on add to my SCC online folder and simply click on OK. So the second judgment also gets added in the same folder. It's not necessary that you only have the Supreme Court judgments. You can go for the foreign cases, you can go for the articles, or let's say add one article over here, and similar way we'll go to the add to my SCC online folder and click on OK. So thereby different databases documents are being added. Now the question is, after this has been created and the documents have been added, how to retrieve? So adjacent to this dashboard icon, you have one icon by the name My SCC Online. In this you have My Folders, and at the last option, click on View Folders, will give me the list of all the folders that I have created, and the last one that I have created, the latest one I have created, will be shown on the screen. So you're able to view one couple of articles, and then couple of judgments are listed over here. And from here in the result list column, what I'll do is I can just tick mark the checkbox in the result list. Maybe I want all of them, or maybe I'm 3 of them. So accordingly you will select them and then go to this action button. Just in the result list there is an action icon, and go to the last option, create case compilation. Once you click on create case compilation, it will lead you to the another pop-up where it says you want to, it shows me all the list of all those. I can just arrange them in the order I want, moving up or down, and post that I can click on the create button. I'll click on the create button, and this way the case compilation will be created within a few seconds, as you can see. And this has been divided into 2 sections. One is table of contents, and the second one is the document itself. Now the table of contents, you can see in the third column, it shows me the title, the party name, the pagination has been already auto-generated by the software. So from page number 1 to 9, we have this Rajesh Kumar Dattya versus Rajasthan, and the second one starts from the page number 10 to 14, and so on. In this table of contents, we can do it's editable. Say for example, if I am looking for in this point number 4, one para number 2 is very important, I can just mention that over here, like something like a remark, make it bold or something like that. So all these changes can be done over here. Post that. To save those changes permanently, what I'll do is I'll simply click on the save button, which is there on the top of the third column. Then the changes get saved. And after that, I can go to the next section, that is the document section in the result list, in the table of contents, just below, and then click on that. The third icon will show, the third column will show me now the actual documents with the page numbers being given in square boxes on right hand extreme, and it goes according to the table of contents. So it has been prepared in no time, sort of, which would usually take you at least an hour or a couple of hours to create one. And from here, the last step will be in the second column, there is a download icon for both table of contents as well as the pages of the document. You'll need to download it. Will get downloaded in your downloads maybe folder, and from there you can take a print and just present it. So that is case compilation for you.
Yes.
So
I think we can. I think I'll just quickly show one feature of this.
Yeah.
So this is the we are done with that entire detailing. We're just going to show you a quick information about this. Let's suppose you would be going through a lot of acts right now. So I'm going to show you one feature in terms of how it works. You can click on any of this and you can explore yourself. Let's say I click on Browse Acts and Rules. In Browse Acts and Rules, it'll give you Central Acts, it'll give you State Acts over here. So if I click on Central Acts, and in the Central Acts, it gives you a couple of acts which are used on a daily basis. So those are available over here. And then other are alphabetically arranged. So I can see it from here. Now, the good part of this, now we were talking about Contract Act, it'll give you the Bear Act, which I'm sure everyone is reading and everyone is knows about it. So it's we can do it, and we can access all this information. But if you scroll down further, you keep scrolling down further, what's going to happen is going to give you the Bear Act, but along with the Bear Act, what's going to happen is going to give you a blue color, these boxes, which is available in all Central Acts. So while you're reading, the next time when you're reading a Bear Act, which I'm sure you'll be just starting with, you, rather than reading just the point that is discussed about void contract in section 2, you'll also get to see this blue color box. That means this is a part of the judgment which is talking about void contract. And on void contract, this is the point which was discussed, that contract effected in the absence of one of the trustees by the remaining trustees, in the absence of any stipulation to that effect, and other things I've also mentioned. And then it says Shanti Vijay versus Corporation versus Fatima Faugia, and the citation is given right over here. So what is happening over here is that it says that there might be so many judgments on void contract, but this is one of the important judgment. This is from our editorial department. This is one of the important judgment on this is void contract. To start with, you should do this. And if I click on the citation, it'll open the full judgment right over here. So this we have done for all the Bear Act. So you can please feel free to use it for your reference, and I think you'll be good to go. And this is the same methodology of clicking and expanding in all the other methods as well. If you click on Browse Secondary Materials, you'll have your acts. You have your bills in Parliament. You have your policy. You have reports and other commissions. You have your Constituent Assembly debates. You click on any of this, and you will keep clicking it on, and then you can select it off. So you don't have to type anything. You can just simply select, and it will be visible to you. So now we can, I think, have a questions, round over here, and
yes,
we're happy to answer any question if you have any. So over to everyone, over to the students. Arun sir, exactly 1 hour. We started at 4:36. 5:36. We are giving it back. I think, sir, your mic is muted, I believe.
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Dear students, you can ask your queries if you have any.
Hello, sir.
You can
This is-
unmute yourself.
Yeah, please go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. We need to check plagiarism for our assignment. How can we check that?
That is the other issue.
That is for that. I'm sure there's another software for that. So if you're picking up something from here, if you're picking anything from SCC online, you give due credit. I think there's no plagiarism happening.
Hello, sir.
Here.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, Shalab.
Sir, how to download the full Bear Act and with complete amendments?
See, it's very easy. If you're in the Bear Act, so you're in the Bear Act like this. Any act that you open up, if an act is pretty long, like IPC and all, what we have done is we have broken it into smaller groups. But
Yes, sir.
let me show you that, like in CPC, you see section 1 to 78, they're sorted in the groups because not everyone wants the entire Bear Act, and others would give you a complete one. Let me just minimize this one because that's where and when you open any of this group or act for that matter, it'll get displayed over here, and then there's a saving option right over here. The saving will save the entire thing, and the amendments are mentioned in the Bear Act itself. So there you have it, High Court amendments, everything, and you'll also get the copy. You'll also get these blue color boxes, which is important judgment when you do a save. So you can do a save right from the corner most icon. So yeah. And while we have another question, I'll quickly show you one more thing. This is a question mark icon. If you have any question that you like to, after the session you forget that what we were discussed, you come to this question mark, which is available on throughout the website. You come to question mark and say View User Manual. You click on View User Manual, it'll open a different website for you, which is a help center. How to smart copy, how to log in through IP access, case compilation feature, case reference feature, all that is given over here. Even if you don't remember it, you can simply write it. Say copy, it says smart copy. And then it will give you a pictorial manual to answer all your questions. And if you want to go through some advanced trainings, you can simply write webinar over here. All the webinar on a certain section of the this website has been given over here. Browse is given separately. Case compilation and folder, this is different webinar. Advanced search is a different webinar. So you can use that. Yeah. Question. Any other question that we may be able to answer? I have few of the stray dogs around my house, and they all gather near my balcony in the evening, and they're asking for food. So please excuse me with the background noise. Yeah.
I've shared the email ID and the toll-free number.
So the toll-free number, you can use the toll-free number. You can send us an email as well, and we can take things forward. Understand this session is a very, very preliminary session. Usually session lasts for 1.5 to 2 hours when we talk about so many things that we can, not only about SCC, but other things as well. So I think Arun sir and I, we can discuss it out and see that when can we have another session, probably in a month or two. And we'll come back and we do some more, advanced searches with you. Any other question that we can help you with?
No, sir. Thank you.
I have a question, sir.
Please go ahead.
So what is the use of case compilation? Like how we use it in like we are first year students, so how can we use it in our projects or moot courts?
Okay. See, what happens is that you whenever you go to a moot court or when you go to an actual court, start going to the actual court, what happens is that anything that you would be citing in the court, you have to submit it beforehand, right? And just to give you a better idea of it, if you have, I don't know if you attended the recent webinar by the Supreme Court of India and the Chief Justice of India, Justice Bobde was addressing it with Justice Chandrachud, when they talked about e-filing of documents, right? So what happens is that anything that you're citing, you have to make a doc of it. You have to make an index of it, and you have to make a page. You have to number all the pages So when you go to the code, you can't be citing randomly that, sir, 2004, 6 SCC, 378 case about Buddy Jacob was talking about this. They're like, no, where is it? You have to give it beforehand. So that doc is called the compendium. The word that we use in the legal terminology is compendium. This is a compendium being made. So when you'll go for your litigation, when you start doing your moot court sessions, you would be requiring to make all these things. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. You'll get more clarity on it once you get into it. But just remember this feature, because this feature will save, I think, it's not less than I think a couple of hours, at least in one moot court.
Moot court under the secondary material, the moot court resources are also given in the SSC portal.
Yes. So what are those? I didn't have the time to cover it, but in moot court resources, yeah. So what we are doing is, in moot court resources, that we as SSC, as a company, as an entity, we have been sponsoring a lot of moot courts around India, right? So what we do is we get a copy of the problem. We also get the copy of the best memorial or the winning team memorial. So what we have done is we have made a good database out of it and have shared this with you. So let's say I click on Amity Lucknow, and it says 11th Amity Lucknow. So there's a problem. What was the problem in this moot court? That is given over here. The winning team applicant side memorial is given over here, and the respondent side is also given over here. So in case you could not go to the moot court competition, that particular moot court competition, you'll get the document over here. In case you went over there, you could not win, you could not come in the first position, and you want to see that what was there in the winning team memorial, what extra they did, you can see it from here. Arun sir?
Sir, any other student want to ask any question? Unmute yourself and ask your query. Dear students, I have also shared the attendance and feedback form. You can fill this form. Please.
I tried filling that form. Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, but you're not really clear. Anushka.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Anushka, please, do you have a question?
Sir, I tried filling that form, but it's showing a command that you don't have permission to fill the form.
You are filling from Gmail ID. First, you open your Gmail. Then you can open this form.
Okay, then. Try it again.
Yes. Any other student who have any query, any question?
See, even if you have queries later on, please use our email address, that is learning@scconline.com, which Mr. Rana has already put in the chat as well. This email would be sent to all the traders that we have on this meeting. So if one is not available, the other person would reply to your email. So please feel free to do that.
Thank you, SSC team, Chetan sir, Rajesh sir, Ranaji, Kapil sir, for providing the practical training for utilizing the SSC portal, the basic and advanced search techniques. I hope that our students will have learned many things from your practical training. And in the future, we will also conduct more trainings for our young professionals.
Absolutely, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And on behalf of my entire team, I would like to thank all the students and for sitting with us in the evening after, I think, attending so many classes. So thank you so much. Really appreciate this. And thank you, Arun sir, for taking the pain of bringing us and bringing the students together.
Yes.
So thank you so much. And we will meet soon.
Students for attending the session.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you, Mr. Lata. Thank you, Kapil, for your help.
Thank you, Chetan. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arun sir. Thank you, Chetan.
So we'll
you,
exit
everyone.
this meeting now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.